Hello, everyone. So, what I want to do now is go over some of the vocabulary from your homework from this past week. Um, I'm going to focus on the words that people had the most trouble with. Um, and because the virus is all that anybody is talking about, I'm going to use examples related to the virus when possible. So the first word that gave people trouble generally was the word compels or compel. First of all, it's a verb. So something compels someone to do something, or something compels something to happen, but it's usually a someone. So we might say something like this: the coronavirus has compelled people to stay home. Or we could even say the rules, or the governor or the mayor of Chicago has compelled people to stay home. So there's something, there's kind of a reason that causes you to do this. But compels is a very strong word that kind of means the same thing as caused. So we could say the virus has caused people to stay home, but compels would be a stronger way of saying that. Okay, so it's a verb. That kind of is what threw some people off. You weren't using it as a verb. Um, Another one is associated with. This just means that two things go together, right? So we could say the coronavirus is associated with coughing and fever. Or a better example would be people staying home is associated with flattening the curve, spreading out how fast people in a community get the virus. So it's sort of connected. So one thing is connected to another thing. It doesn't always mean cause, it just means that connection. The word persistent, it's an adjective, persistent. Think for a minute about what the verb would be. Think about what we learned about adjective endings. So persistent is an adjective, persist would be the verb. And this means something that keeps going. So if you cough once or twice, that is not a persistent cough. It's not a problem. But a persistent cough is it keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. The verb to persist can be used in a positive way or a negative way. So a parent might say to their kid, "You are persisting in eating all the cookies, right? You keep doing that." That would be negative. But we could say she persisted in making her vocabulary cards. That would be a good thing. Another word, now this one, really people didn't have too much trouble with, but I just want to point it out because you're going to see it all the time. Outcome. Outcome is a synonym for a result, but it's a noun. You can't use that as a verb. So outcome would be a noun. Now, two other words. One was in your vocabulary for this chapter, one wasn't, but there are two words that people get confused. The first word is adapts. You can write this down now so you don't get confused. Adapts, ADAPTS. The other word we'll talk about is adopts with an ADOPTS with an O. To adapt means to change. And the way you can remember this, adapt with an A, change has an A. So adapt, change. And adapt is to change because of something else. So we are all adapting to staying home. We're changing our behavior. We're becoming used to something. So adapt is to change in that sense of to get used to something. So when somebody moves here from a warm climate where there's no winter, they have to adapt to the cold. They have to change to get used to something different. To adopt, we often use in the sense of families and children. If there's a child with no parents, another family adopts that child, they take them in. Adopt can be used in other ways too, but that's the way you'll see it probably most of the time. You can adopt a pet, and it is used in other ways too, but that's how you'll see it a lot of the time. And I think that's it for today. So keep making vocabulary cards. I can tell some of you did the work a little too quickly last time, where you just sort of wanted to get the answers down. So there's a lot of independent work here. You can learn a lot in reading by working independently. I know it's not what we planned, but really spend some time, and I'll try to do these updates with some more instruction after you turn things in. Okay, bye.